What's good, everybody? Thanks for being in here. Shout out hashtag respawn recruits. We're gonna do a video for our dozer. I'm gonna teach you the ins and outs. I've had a lot of requests for this machine on how to run it, how to set it up. So I'm gonna kind of show you how to run this machine the right way, how to clean this all up, I'll go through um, the controls, how my controls are set up. So let's get to it. Let's hop in. First of all, let's go into controls. I have this set up, gearbox. I have it set up for sequential gear up, gear down. So I have two controls for that, which are on the joystick for me to shift gears. One to go up, one to go down. And then one for parking brake, which is the trigger. So gear up, gear down are the two buttons on the outside. Back. Controls. We go into the dozer. You can do throttle, which is the big. So you do throttle, then gear up and gear down to do your shifting. And then, so let's take the parking brake off. We're in first gear right there. We're reverse. First gear, neutral, reverse one. You kind of have to stop, otherwise the gear won't work. So that's how that works. And then you just have left on joystick, right will skid you this way. That's pretty much it for that. Then when you want to go in reverse, you go reverse one. Just like a real dozer, everything's controlled in your left control. You go D2, turn left, turn right. I'm holding that throttle button in the middle. Now for the blade, just like real life, tilt, tilt, up or down, up, and then to roll it, I have the little analog on top, back, and then forward. And everybody knows that to run it right, if you push down on your controls, make sure your controls go to the ground. If you pull it back, they lift everything up. You always just think of, if you're pushing, everything's going down. If you're pulling back, everything's coming up. Just like in real life, I'm telling you. So the proper way, so if I want to clean all this up, the proper way to doze, this is pretty simple stuff. So you start on your flattest area. You have to overhang your blade about a foot over this, because you want your grade to be, this is your flat part right here, right in this area right here. So you hang half your blade on the part that you already want to be grade, and then it will mimic the rest of it. You just keep cutting it in halves. So essentially, I'll show you on this first pass. We're going to take the camera. Let's see the blade on this side. Now, I'm going to be first. You always want to be like first, second gear. More like first. For your first gear is your power gear. So, let's go. So we kind of do we do micro movements like this. See that the blade is kind of hanging on grade. You follow that, and whatever your right or your blade is will mimic whatever the left is hanging off of. You know what I mean? That's why you always start on one side, and then you're going to work your way over. This is literally how you do raking for asphalt too. Okay, so we made it to the end. Let's back up. So now what do we got? We took our pass. Let's take a look at it. See, we're just mimicking this over, then you cut it in half. You do half, this means half. We'll cut it in half, then we'll take our blade and we'll go right here with the blade now, because we overhang it by half, right? Okay, so we gotta make sure we went back far enough. We didn't. Now overhang your blade by half, just like this. Make sure you're kind of flat. Always overhang your blade by half. That way your grade, you're just watching that left part of that blade pretty much. Just like that. And you just keep moving over to the right. Now we're gonna move over. We might be a little high though. I didn't like that. See, then you can see your tracks tell the story of what's happening. We're a little high because we came off a little hump. So let's take a little bit down. Let's not get too greedy. We're just gonna skim the top of it. And I'm doing micro movements. Just like this. You're always moving because your tracks are always moving. Just like that. Always micro movements when dozing. You're always constantly kind of chasing. Just like this all the time. So that looks okay. The roller will get the rest of that. Let's do the same thing. You just keep moving. You just keep moving the cut over to your right. Then you follow your grade on your left and you watch your blade. It's all cool right here. See, now we're watching it. We're flat. Micro movements. Dialing it in. Just like that. Hit the pile and then we take off. Then once we get the bulk of this, we can kind of fine tune it too if we want. Right? Getting the bulk out of here. Keep following it. Okay, we're diving down. Come up. Come up a little bit. Okay, now it's all what your tracks are doing. You know what I mean? Look at what the machine's doing. That's why it kind of sucks. In real life, you can actually feel the machine, what it's doing, and then you make your corrections. If we're going to take this, we keep moving over because we keep chasing that to the right. Pretty flat right there. We got a hole in front of us. If you have a hole to fill, we're going to grab some material. Always have a blade full to fill in the low spots. That way you just go right over them. Pull right up. Okay. R3, we're backing up. D1, head in. Grab some material, fill in that hole we kind of screwed ourselves with. See how the machine's jumping? You have to kind of correct the blade. Just like that, just like that. Worst part of doing dozers when you get a bunch of whoop-de-doos and some wows in your cut, then your machine starts going like this, and you got to really get some blade control. Then you get a blade full and take it out. Got a little hole right there still, I think. Okay. Try to get her right here maybe. Put a little material in that hole. There you go. Once again, we're moving over to the right. I actually hate going in this direction. I like going right to left. But that's okay. We get her done. Just like that. We're just following our grade that we have literally made across this piece. To the right, pull it up to our pile, like that. This stuff, let's take a look what we got going on here. Hang on. This just needs to kind of get dozed in. You kind of just make it work. Just like that. We cut this in and kind of get rid of this stuff. I don't know, you can't do what's up. Once again, we just follow this over. We follow our grade over. Just like that. Fairly simple. Just remember, you always have to follow, either your first pass has to be perfect and flat, because that's what you're going to follow across the whole patch, or across the whole cut. Just like this. And you cut all this in. Let's swoop this in. We'll get that with our shovel probably. It's in a weird spot. Now let's take a look, see what we got going on. See how we followed grade through this whole thing. Just like that. Now it's all flat, just like that. See? Now we can bring in the roller. You can fine tune it even more if you want to. Let's fine tune it a little bit and let's get after it. So now that we're good there, this is real life stuff. This is how you doze in real life. Just like this, we'll take all this out. Our blade's flat. Now that we got the bulk out, you skim the top of it. We're not taking much. And then kind of do micro movements a little bit. That way we're chasing it. This is your cleanup. This is your fine grading, which you're not really supposed to be doing with this size of a dozer, but we're going to do it anyways. We're in a video. Come over here. We have our little windrow. We'll take our windrow out. Fine tune, like I said, we'll skim the top. Dozer operator is called a cat skinner. If you really want to get technical with it. Those are usually called cats. There you go. Okay. We take that. Reverse. We're all looking pretty good now. I almost just want to roll this thing and be done with it. We take this little piece out right here. See how I come into the cut just like that. Drop the blade down a little bit, not too much. Once again, you're kind of just chasing where you need it to be flat. I'm always constantly moving my tilt, my blade height. Just like that. And that is how you bulldoze in this game and in IRL. I just taught you a little something, both worlds. So appreciate you being in here. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully your dozing is as good as mine one day, even though, you know, this looks like crap. But thank you. Bye, everybody.